and everyone else, welcome to Hollywood Minute with David Spade. David, I mean, seriously, people, how bad is the music industry these days? I mean, how really bad is the music industry these days? Talk about some of the wackiest examples of music I've ever seen. For example, back in 1982, when I was in a Bob Seger concert, his performance was so disappointing and unacceptably depressing. He was supposed to sing Night Moves and didn't even mention his night moves in quotation. People were so disgusted at his performance they wanted to throw a Like a Rock at Lyca's head. No wonder he was not an everlasting heavy truck on the road. Oh, goodness gracious. When Michael Jackson released his song Leave Me Alone live, it totally drew the attention away from the music industry. Same with the song Gotta Be Starting Something. For example, his record was making so much money that nobody could actually understand the audio portion of the lyrics. The phrase mama say, mamakusa has become a wacky lyric these days. For a second, if he merged with Compaq and Bill Gates, he would be saying, mama say, mama sell, ma Microsoft. Nobody knew at the time what Michael was really up to these days. Bill Gates finally replied via AOL dial-up with Elwood Edwards, "You've got voicemail." His response was, "That will be a Google's worth," which Jackson responded, "Ow!" And while Bill Gates and Elwood Edwards were making puns with the internet, Jackson replied, "Hee hee!" And no matter what he does, no matter what happens when he does the moonwalk, final words of despair and courage were, "Ta-da!" Imagine using the internet term for a 1995 marketing manager to deliver internet marketing puns for the new XP millennial. Nope. New ideas have been washed away, especially when the music and the internet have their own critical errors. Well, no sour candy for you. Oh, goodness. Cereal corporations have really emphasized the meaning to the war on drugs. To help me understand the meaning to drugs and its delicious sayings, no, I'm not talking about Tony the Tiger or a frog named Diggum. I'm talking about how DEA operates in its landlines and its headquarters. To give a specific meaning of what I'm actually talking about myself, I will bring to you one and done, a brand new segment in conjunction with Weekend Updates with Seth. Yeah! Thank you very much. Too polite. Thank you very much. Really, Kellogg's? You're promoting drugs to enhance the dream of uncontrollable munchies? Really? That's like labeling mascots for undescribable snacking. Really? And not to mention, the characters have been engaging in this crime for centuries. Really? Oh, really indeed. Other than Diggum and Sonny the Cuckoo Bird, I have seen much worse. Seth, give me an example of what are really the worst of the worst in your personal opinion. Thanks for asking. Really? If drugs didn't improve your image, then what will? Everyone I mentioned earlier has uncontrollable desires for munchies and snacking. My top 3, Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Hey, I remember some guys named Snap, Crackle, and Pop, but they were all ecstasy dealers. I mentioned music like Flag and Molly, which are the worst Scooby snacks from a music album. Really, when the war on drugs can't even get worse, look at the Ice Cream Men. Coldest and most evil of them all. If you were selling cookies and cream and bubblegum to sellers, you would actually think by adding cookies and cream to sellers and your bubblegum to sellers, you'd be actually adding fortunes to improvise the gross pay and salaries by manipulating assets to your organized crime bosses, but in reality, you would be sentenced for 8 capital counts of racketeering and insider trading. I mean, really? So, really? Yeah, really. Not to carry out what lemonade delivery trucks come out to. It also becomes a disgusting nightmare when the couriers began robbing profits and embezzling trust by extorting courage and blackmailing the history of it under contracts for over $800,000 in damages. I mean, really? Hey, really? I know you want to be positive role models for all corporations, but when drugs and delicious-sounding products come to market, confiscate everything and anything to FBI and DEA officials. I mean, really? This has been okay. Here's something. Back in 1994, when there was a new film called The Specialist with Sharon Stone and Sylvester Stallone, I was very, very interested. I liked it the first way around when it was called The Informant. But things have changed. Hotels are set for wiretapping, and even a single payphone recording can lead to an off-hook tone acting as a detonator. If Jane Barbie hadn't yelled the saying,
"If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator."
Off-hook blast, nobody would need to think that the feds would be screaming, "FBI, freeze!" And all the unlawful phone freaks around the world, listen up! The only phone call messages you will receive when you're all sentenced to federal prison terms is this.
"We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please check the number and try your call again."
Not to actually mention, audio dialing portions of the calls would answer like this.
"We're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed from the phone you are using. Please hang up and try your call again."
By the way, from 1957 to 75 and from 1976 to 1997 up to 1999, the Bell system has become the ultimate marketing tool and parent partner to merge the baby bells into one after Justice Department officials had reached legal settlements in federal court proceedings. On another note, I actually watched Dan Rather on the CBS Evening News. I can't imagine how crazy the satellite dish can be ruined instantaneously in disgracing courage when his letter S's get whistled out on the television and into the internet. He has more whistles than Gopher from Winnie the Pooh. I'm on messing the dials on that satellite radio station, Sonny. Howdy. I've lost my marbles. Of course you did. Oh yeah. Agent Hanratty and Mr. Fielding are looking for new positions for that corporation. And the FBI, my advice to Walter Fielding. I would have a long chat with Benny Richards and make sure he stayed close up to at least $750,000 in taxes and mortgage. And Frank Abagnale, don't be cutting checks from across the country. You were lucky once. Don't forge the checks again. Don't have attitudes that are double bonded. The feds can lock you up to maximum security federal prison with 23 hours of lockdown and 1 hour of cardio, shower. No more, no less. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Hey, you are not escaping the truth, you attempted backstabbing murderer. By the way, hey, if I were you in the new Don Rickles films, I don't recommend throwing couch potatoes out the window. Anyone caught red-handed, and you could find your 4 final disciplinary words. You're an absolute disgrace. And in closing, Toy Story will have a brand new sequel of Buzz Lightyear Star Command, Blackmail of Dark Matter property. Even if you're not in Andy's house, and imagine cowboy dolls and space rangers shooting lasers towards little green men's near LGM's near Sid's backyard, I highly recommend that if Emperor Zurg built a new weapon to demolish the Galactic Alliance from a boulevard known as Sector 4, we are hoping, and hopefully everyone is hoping, that Buzz and Warp can use the time machine to stop rabid reptiles from chewing up Unimind headquarters, also known as Crater Vipers, from taking over Star Command and ruling Planet Z. I only hope there's a booster generator with codes of XR and Mira, fighting off the grubs and counterfeit computer chip XL from demolishing the Space Rangers in their hypersleep. That's all for the Hollywood Minute. I'm David Spade. Good night.